Hey, hello everyone. So the markets continue to stall over here. There was nothing significant happening today. For the past couple of days, we've been stalling. It's just, well, maybe just a little bit extended. The market is waiting for, some of these averages to try to catch up. Clearly we've had a very, very decent rally since that low back in April, and we're just at new all-time highs, and I don't think anybody's really sure what to do with these prices. It's kind of hard to put new money at work because we're kind of stretched. There's no real sell signal just yet in the market, so I think there's a back and forth happening, and that creates a little bit of an equilibrium. So I'm not being aggressive in any way. If anything, I'm continuing to try my hands at the shorts. I'll show you a few that I've taken today, kind of how I'm looking at things. But you're looking at the futures platform, and not much really. It's been happening in here. You take a look at the S&P. You've had a pretty serious rally, and then a pretty decent day of selling. That high kind of sticks up there, interestingly, and there could be in here a lot of, maybe even more like that, and maybe create some kind of a flag over the next several days before we continue to go. It could even be something like that later on. So it's just, I'm not really sure on direction, but I do notice a bunch of, stocks that have been frothy that have, a character of wanting to pull back. The Russell, it's been doing okay. It had a pretty good day today, and ever since it kind of broke that 200-day moving average, it's acting fine. It's stalling a little bit in here, coming into definitely a big zone of supply. So I'm not going to get into a lot of breadth and economics and tariffs and all of that. Everything is in the price, and as the market moves one way or another, we're going to be able to tell a little bit better. Dow, which has been the one that's been really spiking, continue to be weak. Even today, we got some weakness on the equal weighted market. The semiconductors are still acting fairly strong after yesterday's drop, and this formation in here. I thought that maybe there'd be more weakness, but nothing just yet. The RSI is still pretty strong. We don't have no divergence. So the semiconductors and Nvidia, I think it's still doing fairly okay in here, just continuing to trend. And semiconductors are a big part in here, so they could be continuing to try to carry the market higher. Now, when I come to Bitcoin, it's been a little bit better than yesterday, the price action, but still, we gotta see more of a clear break of the zone. This, it's still being in the works per se. Ethereum kind of also try to move higher a little bit today, but it's just, let's actually see what Ethereum is doing. Let's go to the next one. It's still below a pretty heavy moving average in here. That's the 150, and the next one is the 200. So it's fighting a little bit of supply. So once we clear it, it's probably going to look better. You have a 1 2 1 2 3 4 and 5, 4 and 5, with what looks to be an ABC in here, and then the beginning of a new uptrend. So for me, I would think there'll be better opportunities once you start to clear above that zone, and that hasn't happened yet. So back to Bitcoin, it is, it doesn't look bad. Yesterday, I said, well, I'm kind of disappointed because it did not continue to break. Today is kind of holding, so still there's not much to do here just yet until that level goes. Once that goes, I think it's time to start to press the acceleration. Gold, it's acting weak. I actually shorted gold today via GLD. I didn't go much, but we're spending more time below the 20-day, now below the 50-day, and we're spending in terms of like several days now below it, and since we haven't done it since back in December, right before this breakout happened, and I think this tells you that there could be some weakness coming, and the gold is in a corrective mode. It's not going to be a straight flush down, but it'll probably be a grind in some kind of a corrective pattern in here. ABC, X, ABC, we'll see. But that's the idea on gold, and that's why I kind of took a shot at that. VIX, it's surprisingly lower, which tells you that the markets, feel fine and have no real fear that all this kind of tariff talk, it's been kind of, brushed off to the side. So, with VIX coming lower, I would expect markets to hang in well, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's kind of a pretty decent sign in the bullish kind of box per se. So Tesla, I wanted to reshort it, but it didn't do much, and I'm like, I don't think I'm ready to short. I mean, this was a much better rally to short into. This was like, I don't, doesn't give me a lot of. I don't know. I just want a better looking setup, and that's not it, right there. So forget it. I'll just kind of leave it alone. So let me show you what I've done. So I've retried Roblox after seeing that it is stalling. So based on yesterday's move and the overnight and pre-market action, I was expecting Roblox to go. So what I've done is I've started the started position right there on the short, and then I've added when I noticed that it starts to break down more and it's got more power. So I've done pretty good. I pretty much kind of got back everything that they stopped me out on this move. So I'm like, let me just kind of get out of the way. Came into this support. I mean, it's clearly, you can see it right here. It's kind of a big one. The market has been kind of testing that. So once we get back below that, if we do, because this feels very weird, if we do get back below that, then I think there's going to be more chances to short Roblox. ELF, I think I talked about this yesterday, so we shorted up there today. Very early was my first profit taking of the day because it just kind of went straight down. So by the time it was kind of in this area, I closed up the position and I just took my money and ran. There was a pretty decent trade. So I'm out of ELF right now, keeping it on my radar. Because I think based on that divergence that I showed you yesterday, I think there's more room to go. So we'll take a look. We'll continue to look at that. SMR, I'm shorting here. I got stopped out. I'm shorting it again below the 20-day, and I'm in profit right now, but I'm targeting 32.94. But if it gets back above this high, I gotta get out. Oklo, I shorted this one just underneath this 20-day. I mean, it tried multiple times to break through it. It can't. So for me, that's a good ceiling. I had to stop at before I shorted it. I had to stop at 62.88. Then I moved it over to 58.57. So I'm looking at this as the get out line, kind of very short, and then looking for about 47 if I can hold it up to there. We'll see. Groupon, it's still doing nothing. Palantir, it didn't stop me out yet, so it needs to kind of move higher, and it didn't. So I'm still, in it, but it's really hanging by a thread. Hood, this one, it is a short, so I increased the position. I am looking for lower, probably towards 86, not above 98, 87, that area. TQQ, shorted this one yesterday. It didn't do a lot. It didn't go anywhere, so I'm going to keep it. Coin, I shorted coin up here as it was failing, so it failed to rally, and then it turned back, gave me this nice looking candle that as it was forming. I looked at the 1 hour and I jumped in it, and then I got out. Once I saw Bitcoin acting well and starting to push, I'm like, no, I don't want to be part of this just yet. Let me just take a breather on it. So I made some lunch money on it, not a lot, but it's okay. And then SOFI, I'm short. I shorted it based on this rejection. You can see it better on the 1 hour. This one, I don't know, it felt very, how do you say, when something spikes up and then it retreats, it's almost like an exhaustive move, right? Like a strong move up and then a rejection. I mean, it didn't really get a lot of confirmation. It's still trending up. But I'll watch it tomorrow and see what happens. It is a starter position. I would probably add if I get more confirmation and just see if we can get it back to somewhere towards those highs, and then wishful thinking, but somewhere over there. But I think that's going to be too much. But again, I mean, look at the extension here. It's a bit it's a bit much. So that's it. I mean, not a lot. Just keeping an eye on the market, watching it, watching these moves, and trying to get a feel for where we are. But it's kind of summary and kind of choppy, and without a lot of strong moves. I do have a list of stocks that I watch for, for short positions, and Cecil stopped me out, I think, and look at this, just kind of coming back. So I got a bunch of these. CoreWeave, I don't think I can even short this one. My broker doesn't let me. I wanted to, but I don't think there's shares available or what have you. And then, there's a lot of them here that look, fairly interesting, to kind of put on the short list, and, not that much on the long side. Looks kind of frothy. This big pair, look at that. That looks interesting. Um, and dual, no, I think this one is right at the 20-day, 150-day. I wouldn't touch this one for a short, but there's plenty. And I'm kind of adding and removing on this list based on kind of how it looks. I also have like a bear box in here where I look. I mean, Chef, look at this guy, right? It had just to move up, it failed, and I think that's just getting ready maybe for a short. What's this trade web? Inta, just trying to look for rallies into some of these guys. AVGO, I think it's probably gonna run into some trouble here. Breakouts that fail, and then SOFI. So anyway, that's kind of where my head is at for the moment. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye.